Something is happening in El Paso, and this is not normal. On Jacook Lover, we're about to uncover what's really going on behind the preparations for BTS and why this situation is already spiraling out of control, even before the concert begins. But first, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right now because this story is still developing and you do not want to miss what comes next. There's no concert yet, no stage, no official show. So why are people already flooding the city? And the most confusing part, why is Park Jimin becoming the center of attention before anything even starts? What is really happening in El Paso? Flushed face. No one expected a city like El Paso to suddenly become the center of global attention, especially not before a single note has been played. There is no concert yet, no official opening, no explosive stage lights cutting through the night sky. And somehow, that's exactly what makes everything feel even more unsettling. Because something is already happening. Quietly at first, almost invisible. Then suddenly, impossible to ignore. It began as a rumor, just a whisper that BTS would be coming. No clear public timeline widely confirmed, no fully detailed announcement that would normally trigger mass movement. And yet, the information spread at a speed that feels almost unreal. How did so many people know so quickly? Was this simply the unmatched power of a global fandom? Or did something leak before it was supposed to? Because what followed doesn't feel ordinary. Hotels began filling up fast. Not gradually, not predictably, but all at once. Some visitors claimed they booked weeks in advance, as if they were certain something big was coming, even before concrete details were widely confirmed. Streets started to feel heavier, busier, charged with a kind of anticipation that's hard to describe. And then the gathering started. Small at first. A few fans here, and their near locations rumored to be connected to the upcoming event. But those small clusters didn't disappear. They grew. They stayed. Hours turned into days. People weren't just visiting, they were waiting. But for what? There is still no concert. No official moment to hold on to. And yet, the energy keeps building. Videos circulating online show fans standing outside possible venues, holding signs, filming everything, reacting to the smallest movements as if something could happen at any second. There's excitement, yes, but also something else. Tension, expectation, a feeling that something bigger is coming, something just out of reach. And in the middle of all this, one name keeps surfacing. Park Jimin, not just as a member of BTS, but as the focal point of growing speculation. Discussions across platforms are starting to shift. It's no longer just about the group arriving. It's about what role Jimin might play in what's about to unfold. Why him? Some fans point to subtle details, recent appearances, expressions caught on camera, moments that feel slightly different from what people are used to. Nothing definitive, nothing confirmed, but enough to spark endless conversation. Is he preparing something different this time? Is there a surprise connected specifically to him? Or are fans simply reading too deeply into fragments of normal behavior? The lack of clear answers is only making everything louder. Because when there's no explanation, speculation takes over. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, reports suggest that preparations in the city are anything but typical. Local sources hint at a scale that feels unusually large, even for a group like BTS. Logistics appear more complex, movements more controlled, as if this isn't just another concert, but something designed to leave a lasting mark. But why? Why would preparations alone feel this intense? Why does it already feel like the event has started, even though technically it hasn't? Some industry observers are beginning to quietly question whether this moment could signal something bigger in BTS's timeline. Not just another stop, not just another performance, but a turning point. And once again, attention circles back to Jimin. Every small detail becomes magnified, every appearance analyzed, every gesture replayed. Fans aren't just watching anymore, they're searching. Searching for clues, for meaning, for something that connects all of this together. At the same time, El Paso itself continues to transform. Local businesses are bracing for an impact that hasn't even officially begun. Transportation systems are already under pressure. The atmosphere is shifting from normal city life into something closer to a global event zone. And still no concert. So what exactly are people responding to? Is this pure anticipation? Or is there something already unfolding that hasn't been fully revealed yet? Because if this is what preparation looks like, what happens when everything actually begins? And maybe the most unsettling question of all. The longer the situation unfolds, the harder it becomes to dismiss it as simple anticipation. Because anticipation usually follows a pattern. It builds, it peaks, and it releases when the event finally happens. But in El Paso right now, the pattern feels disrupted. The peak seems to be forming too early, without a clear trigger, without the usual signals that would explain such an intense reaction. And that's exactly what's making people uneasy. There are now reports of fans arriving not just from nearby cities, but from different states and even different countries. Some claim they changed travel plans at the last minute. Others say they felt they couldn't risk missing whatever this is, even though no one can clearly define what this actually means yet. Is it just loyalty? Or is there a shared instinct among fans that something unusual is about to happen? Because when thousands of people make decisions like this simultaneously, it starts to feel less like coincidence, and more like something pulling them in. Online, the situation is evolving just as rapidly. Clips, photos, and short live streams are being uploaded every minute. None of them reveal anything definitive, but together, they create a mosaic of growing intensity. A crowd gathering here, security presence increasing there, equipment being moved under tight supervision. Small details, but too many to ignore. Some users have pointed out that the level of secrecy surrounding the preparations feels different this time. Not tighter in an obvious way, but more controlled. As if information isn't being hidden completely, but carefully released in fragments. Why would that be necessary? Is it to prevent chaos? Or to build something else entirely? Because if this were just about managing a large-scale concert, the patterns would be familiar. Announcements would align. Schedules would be clearer. The narrative would be easier to follow. But right now it isn't. And that uncertainty is feeding something much bigger than hype. It's feeding curiosity. It's feeding theories. And most of all, it's feeding attention. Once again, that attention keeps circling back to Park Jimin. There's a growing belief among certain fans that his role in this event might not be what people expect. Not necessarily larger in terms of stage time, but different in purpose. More symbolic. More central to whatever message might be forming behind all of this. But what message? No one seems to agree. Some believe it could be related to a new artistic direction. Others think it might connect to a personal milestone. And then there are those who go even further, suggesting that this could be tied to an announcement that hasn't been revealed yet. An announcement that would explain why everything feels so carefully orchestrated even before the show begins. Of course, there is no confirmation. Only patterns. Only impressions. Only moments that, on their own, could mean nothing, but together begin to suggest something. Meanwhile, inside the city, the atmosphere continues to shift in subtle but undeniable ways. Local residents are starting to notice the difference. Conversations in cafes, stores, and public spaces are changing. People are asking questions, not just about when the concert will happen, but about why everything feels so intense already. There are even accounts from individuals who aren't fans, yet describe the environment as charged or unusual, as if the city itself is holding its breath. Waiting. But for what? Even businesses that are used to large events are reportedly adjusting faster than usual. Inventory changes, staffing increases, extended hours, decisions that suggest they're expecting something beyond a typical surge. Is it simply caution? Or have they been given signals that something bigger is coming? Because if the expectation were ordinary, the response would likely be measured. But this doesn't feel measured. It feels accelerated. And acceleration without a clear cause always leads to one thing: questions. Questions that continue to multiply as more details emerge. Like the timing of certain movements. Equipment arriving earlier than expected. Restricted areas expanding in ways that don't fully match what's been publicly suggested. None of it is dramatic on its own, but together, it creates a pattern that's hard to ignore. A pattern that suggests preparation for something more complex than a standard performance. Something layered, something intentional. And once again, the focus narrows. Back to Jimin. Why does every thread seem to lead there? It's not just fans anymore. Even casual observers are beginning to notice the shift. The way his name appears more frequently in discussions. The way clips featuring him gain traction faster. The way narratives begin to form around his presence, even when the context remains unclear. Is it organic? Or is there a reason behind this growing spotlight? Because attention, especially at this scale, rarely moves without direction. And yet, no direction has been officially given. Which brings everything back to the same unresolved tension. If this is all just preparation, why does it feel like something has already started? Why does it feel like the story is already unfolding, even without a stage, without a performance, without a defined beginning? And perhaps the most unsettling thought of all, What if the concert itself isn't the main event this time? What if everything happening right now, the early arrivals, the rising speculation, the unusual focus, the shifting atmosphere, is part of something larger, something designed to build not just anticipation, but a specific kind of attention? Attention that is being guided, slowly, carefully, toward a moment that hasn't revealed itself yet. Because if that's true, then what everyone is waiting for might not be what they think it is. And if that moment finally comes, when the lights turn on, when the music begins, when all the pieces fall into place, will it answer the questions that have been building? Or will it create even more? And the question that now refuses to disappear: when everything finally begins in El Paso, will we be watching a concert? Or the reveal of something that has been carefully hidden in plain sight all along? Something that, for reasons we still don't understand, keeps pointing back to Jimin? Flush face,